Hey guys, Sean here. Today we're going to be speaking about everything related to the counter. So I'm just going to be giving you a rundown of what I understand about the counter as well as what you are required to change in the event you are going to be duplicating a flow for the ACID. So in the flow you see we have two different counter blocks. The first being the counter query action block and the second being the counter addition. So what the counter query primarily does is it if you see if I hit test the request, it pulls up the value of the async counter, and this async counter is then mapped into this custom field called st counter value. So the next step we're going to do is setting the bot field st counter value total to st counter value. The reason we do this is because we cannot map a JSON path directly into a bot field as of now. So hence the bypass. And the next step is we're going to be actually mapping it into a condition called where we check if st counter value total is less than the max daily giveaways. So personally, if I had multiple asins, I would not leave it as max daily giveaways, but a number instead. So moving on into the counter addition portion right here. So the first time you have a singular counter, the first time that somebody goes through the rebate and the gift card has been sent out, at that specific timing when the counter increases, that's when your 24-hour window begins. So basically, from that time onwards, your counter will be resetting every 24 hours. And as you can see here, we are mapping it to st counter value and setting the bot field counter value total to st counter value. So if you want to test if this works fine, you just have to hit test the request and it should fire off and your counter should increase by 1. So two bot fields that you have to take note when creating a new counter for a different ASIN. If you followed what I did exactly to a T for the merging of custom user fields, you don't have to do anything. But just take note, whenever you have a new counter, you have to have a new API counter name and you have to have a new st counter value total. So you can name this API counter name 1 and you can name this st counter value total 1. So whenever you move on to a new flow, this should be different. It shouldn't remain as st counter value total but 1 2 3 4 5, and it shouldn't remain as API counter name but 1 2 3 4 5. Another important thing that I keep seeing pop up is under custom fields, if we hit right to API counter name, the value, I've seen so many people leave spaces, commas, dash, etc. Just don't do it. Just put two words or some numerical values next to each other without any spaces, and your counter should fire fine. And that's it. That's all about counters. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll help.